Hello, amazing people. How is everyone today? Today, we are going to do what I do best. We're going to play with some makeup. And I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't even know how good it's going to turn out. I don't even know how impressed I'm going to be. But first of all, if you like this video, like down below, subscribe to my channel. I do upload twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I will upload a new video with new content. If you do hear a dog barking, that is my dog. She does not like being put away because she's a spoiled brat. Anybody that has an Old English Bulldog understands what I'm talking about. So today we are going to be discussing the Jaclyn Hill palette volume 2, her collab with Morphe. I did purchase this off of the Morphe website. It was in stock. It did not take long to get here. I think 5 days, about I think it was $39. It got here in about 5 days. It was pretty quick. It came packaged fully, and I mistakenly should have opened this on camera, but I was kind of excited at the time, I guess you could say, to receive it, that I didn't record the unboxing of it. So that was my fault. But we are going to go ahead and play with this today. I'm going to create a look. The first thing I want to talk about is the packaging. Let's start there first. The packaging is like her standard. It's white, it's very clean, it's white and silver. It does resemble her first palette. So it's very clean, and it just says volume 2 on it, Jaclyn Hill palette in silver trim. On the inside, she did put a little note, and it says, "To all my subscribers who have supported me all these years, this one's for you, volume 2, XO Jaclyn Hill." I have to be honest. Okay, so first let me just put this disclaimer out. I purchased this with my own money. Everything that I talk about, everything that I mention about this is my solid opinion. People who have it, who love it, great, I'm glad. I don't know if it's going to work for me. I don't know if I'm going to love it. I don't even know if I'll ever use it again. I'm very concerned about the colors. So when you open it, it is very bright. It has some neutral shades in here, as you can tell. We've got some mattes, some shimmers. They're kind of all mixed together, but you can kind of tell that the colors kind of coordinate, like all of the neutrals are here. Then we have some brighter pinks and reds. It does have 35 shades. And if everyone sees me kind of looking down, it's because I took notes. I did some more thorough research than my first video. The first video was definitely not my best, but I'm hoping to get better with it. So I'm just going to keep doing. It was the first time I'd ever edited it. It was the first time I had ever taken that leap and did something like that. I've never edited a video. I've never cut it. So I had to go through the process to see what it looked like. So I'm hoping that this one comes out better. Fingers crossed that it does. It has 35 shades. I got to get back on track. And if I look down, it's because I'm looking at my notes. They're very bright and spring colored, as some people would say. I don't necessarily know, and I haven't watched anything as far as like anybody else reviewing this to know if her intention was for it to be a spring palette. The colors are very bright. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure that I'll use every color in here. I don't really know what I'm kind of feeling. My thought process is I'm probably going to go more with like these and do something a little bit more glitter and natural or neutral, my apologies, because I have some other stuff that I'm going to play with today. We're also going to test out the new, I found this at Ulta. It's the Juvia Place. It says it's a multi-purpose foundation stick. So I was curious because I read the box on this, and the box doesn't necessarily indicate that it's specific to just foundation, contour, concealer. So we're just going to try this foundation and see what happens. I don't know what it's going to look like. I did swatch it. It does seem pretty thick and full coverage, but we'll see. I did the same as I normally do. So we're going to do the same as we normally do. I did moisturize and prime my face already, and everything that I use I'll link below. Oh, and just to remind you, the color that I bought this in was Nepal. So yeah, and then we've got some new, and I don't know how new these are. They're new to me because I just purchased them. but I have two liquid e.l.f. eyeshadows that I really like. So I really want to try this one. This is why I want to do more of like a neutral brown look. That's exactly why. So it's going to be exciting to see what happens. I don't know. This could be just a disaster and a hot mess. I did already do my eyebrows off camera. That is because my eyebrows are a hot mess. I did a lot of plucking in the 90s, so there's not much of them. So I usually do them ahead of time, but I did already do my eyebrows. I did already moisturize and prime my face. So I say we just jump into it and get started. So just keep on watching. So first now we're gonna apply the foundation. Actually, you know what? No, I scratched that. All right, so first we're gonna start with our eyes. What I always do is I do my normal, I tape them. It is the easiest way. So typically a trick with this too, if you decide to do this to get a cleaner line, if you just take regular Scotch tape, because I'm too cheap to buy special eye patch things, too cheap for that. I just use tape, it works the same. Just place it. If you like post it on your hand like this a little bit and kind of get it not so sticky, but sticky enough that it'll stay, it won't be as abrasive to your face, which does make it a lot better. I did already prime my eyelids as well, so that's already ready to go. I think what I'm going to do, I'm gonna take just an e.l.f., or I'm sorry, this is a Wet n Wild. It's just one of their fluffy brushes. I'm gonna take the Wet n Wild fluffy brush, and I think I'm gonna first go into this shade here, which is Perfectionist. It does look like a really great transition shade. And if I'm looking over here, it's because I have my mirror here. So the first shade I went into again was Perfectionist, which is here, which looks like a very transitional shade. This is very powdery. I barely tapped in, and as you can see, there's powder, there's eyeshadow all over. So it is extremely powdery. I'm not a huge, it doesn't really matter to me. I'm okay with it, and I'm just gonna work this into the crease. I'm gonna use this as my transition shade. It is pigmented, I will give it that. It is pigmented, it goes on smooth. It is not patchy. The best way that I typically hold the brush as well is I hold it at the tip. I hold it at the tip, the less pressure you put on it, the more even of an application you get. So I'm just gonna dip back into Perfectionist and work on the other eye. And get that fully blended. As you can see, I mean, it is a pretty color. I think it's a great transition shade. So I think I'm pretty much correct in that I'm gonna stick with more of the neutral colors right now. So the next thing I'm gonna do, and just so everyone knows, a lot of my brushes are just e.l.f. brushes, or e.l.f. or Wet n Wild, because I am too cheap to buy really expensive ones. I do have a few, but if they work for me, they work. So the next shade I think I'm gonna pop into is Comfort Zone here. Sorry, I probably got that off camera. Comfort Zone here. Okay, and I'm just gonna, if you just tap the end of your brush to get the excess off, and then I'm gonna start blending that in a little bit further down in the corner of my eye, and I'm just gonna blend it because you want to be able to see the different colors when you do it. I don't spend a whole lot of time. I'm just dipping back in with Comfort Zone again. Sorry, I'm just going back in there with that one, and I'm just kind of darkening up that outer corner here, and then just kind of bringing the excess and dragging it in, as you can see. And some people might be like, oh, you know, your makeup isn't perfect. It's not. I'm nowhere, let me just be clear, I'm not a makeup artist. I've just been one of those people that have always loved makeup. Since I could wear makeup, since my mom allowed me to when I was, I think in 7th grade, I went full on. Like I wasn't the one wearing little bits of makeup. I was full on makeup. Like the minute she was like, yep, you can wear it, I was like, I'm wearing it. So it's pretty easy, the look that I typically do. So the next thing I'm gonna do is, now that I've got that in, I'm gonna find the right brush, which is just, well, this, I know this one is a Luxie brush. I do believe this is a shader brush. It's worn. I don't know. It could be. I don't know. And I'm gonna go in with Thick Skin. And I'm gonna just pop that down here. I'm gonna start to darken up that outer corner here. I really feel like, since we're just talking about this, I mean, so they blend really easily. The colors are very pigmented. It is very, 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 how do I say it? It is, there is a lot of excess coming off on the thing. Like I blew it and I just got eyeshadow all over. So it's dusty. So typically, once I have this kind of going, I'm just gonna work on that outer corner. Now, if you wanna be fancy, which I'll be completely honest, there are some days where I'm not fancy at all. I tend to just throw some glitter over this, smoke it out a little bit, and I'm done. Okay, but I'm gonna be fancy for y'all today. This is very fancy. Like, it's like 7 o'clock and I'm gonna be putting on lashes and glitter. I'm gonna do a cut crease. I typically don't do them, but we're gonna do them now. So I'm just gonna take some concealer and I'm going to cut my crease so that we can really get full pigment of the color. So typically with that, I just take any kind of flat brush that you have. I would show you guys the brush I use to contour to shape out my eyebrows, but it's really dirty because I didn't clean it. Wasn't in the mood for that today. So we're not gonna do that. Let me at least take a fancy one that I cleaned so at least I can look a little bit presentable, like I know what I'm doing. Not every day though. So I'm just gonna take this, and actually I need a little bit more concealer than that, because if you want a good cut crease, you need some concealer. And you can just use your regular everyday concealer. So the trick to doing a cut crease is you're gonna block out the section that you want with the concealer. Some people, so here's the thing. I've got somewhat hooded eyes. My eyes are very small. I have very like almond shaped eyes. So I tend to, like, some people who do it can go like this and it like gets where it needs to go. No, if I do that, it's gonna look a hot mess. So I literally have to draw. When I do my crease, I literally have to draw. Like, I have to like do it myself. Because it won't do. Okay guys, sorry about that. My camera died and I'm not technically savvy. So it took me a good 45 minutes to figure out how I could get it to work. And I think that I'm always inventive and I'm really not. So the only thing I did do while I was off camera, as you can tell before my camera died, I had blended out the colors that I had used on the Jaclyn Hill palette. So that was the Thick Skin. The only other thing I did off camera was I did apply the glitter. Use the e.l.f. I did apply the glitter off camera. I did use the e.l.f. This one is in the shade Flirty Birdie, which I really like. So I just applied that to the cut crease with the concealer, over the concealer, and then I just blended the ends out so that it's smoother and it just blended everything. Typically what I do to kind of clean everything up is I just take a clean brush, fluffy brush, and I just go back over everything and just make sure. I did add a little bit, as you can see, I did add a little, as you can see, I did add a little bit under the eye. I always do under the eye. And then it reminded me when I was doing this that I also have the Wet n Wild Jelly highlighter that we're gonna play with today. So I'm pretty okay with everything right now. I'm gonna zoom you guys back out a little bit. There we go. The next thing I'm gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and try the Juvia Place foundation stick. I have no idea if this is gonna be a mess. I'm not really a stick foundation kind of girl. I am more like, but I'm very much like, if it says full coverage, I'll give it a whirl. And that potentially, and it kind of broke a little bit, but that potentially could be a bad thing for me. I know that that could be a bad thing for me. I know that they came out, Juvia Place did come out with a foundation that was like really popular. I really wanted to try it, but I could not get my hands on a shade that would match me. So it was a fucking, sorry, I do cuss too, y'all. Have to just get used to that because that does come out my mouth quite frequently. Well, I'm actually kind of impressed with it, actually. To be honest with you, it actually looks really good. It definitely, yeah, I mean, it's definitely full coverage. This is definitely, though, this is probably not too much of something that I would typically wear during the summer because it is definitely full coverage. And then, well, I guess you could. You know what? You do what you want. I do. Trust me, I wear full coverage in the summertime and don't care. I just make sure I set it so that it doesn't fall off. And actually that color matched me really well. So as you can see, I mean, it's definitely full coverage. I mean, it's definitely hid all my imperfections on my face, which I have a lot because when you turn 40, like, I wish that I would have cared more about skincare when I was younger, and I didn't. I didn't have an acne problem when I was younger, but I didn't take care of my skin the way that I feel like it's really important that I do now. So I'm trying to like make up for it now when I probably, you know, should have worried about it when I was younger. All right, so now I'm just gonna do my normal. I'm gonna look retarded for like a whole 5 seconds while I add my normal. And if you saw my last video, you already know what I use, but I will, of course, link everything down below so that you can see it. But basically, I just rub contour all over my face and blend it out. And this is like, so this is like really weird for me. Let me tell you why. This is weird because I normally do not do my eyes first. I try to be one of those people that do it and I can't. Oh, and then if you contour under your chin just a little bit, it makes you look like you don't have two chins. Just a little secret there. You contour under it, because I do. Because I don't like to look like I have two chins. I'm the one that freaks out if I get gray hair. So, and I do have some, just FYI, but you just can't see it right now. But it'll be back soon enough. I need to really get a haircut too. All right, so that looks really good. It's definitely full coverage. I probably used, I'll be honest with you, I probably put a little bit too much on, but I'm very scared with contour sticks, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm scared with contour sticks because I bought the Maybelline Fit Me contour stick and I hated it. I did not like it. I didn't even use it. I think I got rid of it. So same thing as normal. I'm just gonna set my face and then work on the rest of it. But it's not bad. So far, I really like it. We're gonna try some of that highlighter once I get my face set and everything. I'm not gonna worry. I don't really bake that all that much, and I'm pretty picky about like, if I could get my whole face dipped in like, you know, some stuff that would never like cause my makeup to come off, that's what I would do. Like, I've seriously been contemplating on doing some microblading on my brows because I'd really like to wake up and not have to deal with them. Yeah, it's definitely full coverage. I do like it a lot. It's really good. I'll kind of zoom you guys in a little bit more so you can kind of see it. It is definitely, oh, I kind of lost you a little bit. It's definitely very full coverage. I like it a lot. Now I'm just gonna do my normal. I'm gonna bronze. The funny thing is gonna be hilarious when I try to put on lashes, because let me just be perfectly clear. If you guys are gonna come to me to learn how to put on lashes, don't, because it takes me like 5 years to put on lashes. I probably won't even put them on camera. I'll probably do them off camera and then show you at the end result. But I lost my train of thought, so let me back up a little bit. I got this off my lips. I've been kind of under the weather, so I'm like finally starting to feel better. So that's why my voice sounds like a man right now. Yeah, I like the palette a lot. I think it's really pretty. I think the colors are pretty. If you want to see me do something a little bit more with more color, I know this was kind of the safe one. If you want me to maybe venture out and do like a yellow or pink or purple, then just leave a comment below and I will go ahead and brave it and test it and do a different color. The colors I did use though were really pretty. They were very powdery. There's a lot of powder on the palette. I'm not a huge person that really minds that. I don't care if it does. I'm okay with it. It doesn't bother me. If it bothers you, then you're not gonna like it. The texture of let me get my notes again here. The texture of it is really good. It is powdery, but it is soft. It's not dry. There's no dryness. I wouldn't say it's super like buttery, like super buttery, but it is buttery. They go on really pretty. They are very pigmented, so you definitely can go in with a light hand. I think there's a lot of options. I'll be completely honest. I'm kind of surprised that I kind of like it a little bit more than I do. I was very hesitant. I was actually debating on whether doing this or doing a different palette, just because I was very torn on whether or not I would really like it. I loved her first palette. I had it till I couldn't use it anymore, but with all the palettes and everything coming out, you know, I'm constantly changing, constantly using a different palette every day. I try to mix it up. Tati's palette, her neutral palette's one of my favorites. Quick little tip to contour your nose. If you're not good at drawing a line, if you kind of sweep up, it will actually help you to contour. That's how I learned how to contour my nose. All right, so now let's get into the highlighter. Let's get into this and see. Again, I will link everything below. This again is the Mega Wet n Wild highlighter in the shade. What freaking shade is this? Why does it not have a shade on here? Or do I just not see it? Oh, Blaze and Glaze. We live in Colorado, so people from here will know exactly what that means. So I did kind of swatch this a little bit. If you look, it is very, very pigmented. You are not going to need much. I would probably, knowing me, I would put some on and then I would probably blend it out a little bit. Oh, yeah. I don't know if y'all can see that, but that is some highlight in your face. It is very, okay. Well, this will take you like literally probably 5 years to go through because it's literally, and do some down there. I know people are probably gonna come after me about my makeup technique, but I don't really care. I do my makeup my way. I think I look beautiful. I love the way that it looks. If you don't like it, I don't really care. You can leave a comment below. It doesn't bother me any. But anyway, back to better things. So it is really pretty. It is really pretty. I like it. As you can tell, it is some highlight going on. I love it. I'm all about the highlight. Okay, so we went through that. So now I typically do the normal things. I'm sorry, I'm going through my notes again. So I just want to put something out there. This is my opinion, okay? I just want to put it out there that this is solely my opinion on this palette. I think it's a good palette. I have no complaints. My only thing is, would I use all of the colors? Probably not. So I don't really know if this was a good choice for me to make. I like it. I think it's good. I just don't, I'm like not in the camera. I just don't know if I would use every color. But it is a good palette. It is a good palette. If you like that sort of thing, definitely I would purchase it. It was worth the money. Again, I just don't know if I'll use all the colors. So now that we got that on, I am going to put a little bit of mascara on. I really don't want to put on lashes because the glue is going to get everywhere, but I know I told you guys I would. So I will do it. So I'm just going to put a little bit of mascara on. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and put lashes on off camera and lipstick, and then I will be back and I will show you guys the finished look, and then we'll kind of wrap up and yeah, go through my final thoughts. All right, so this is the finished look. I did put lashes on, which took like a hot minute because like I said, I'm not stellar at it. I can do a good job, but once I like mess up, then it's like the whole thing is done. So my final thoughts, it's a good palette again. I like the palette. I think it's really good. I definitely am interested to kind of play with it a little bit more and see what other looks I can create. If you guys have any idea on looks you want me to create or specific colors, you can definitely leave a comment below and let me know, and I'll be more than happy to play with it, try something else, try something a little bit out of my comfort zone. I'm more like a natural person. I tend to kind of feel like you can still play with color, but you have to really know what you're doing. Like I said, I'm not a professional makeup artist. I haven't done makeup for a living. The only makeup I've done is on myself since I was like 14. I do like the palette. I do like the foundation. It is definitely full coverage. I'm very curious to see how it is going to wear. The highlighter is stunning. I definitely recommend this. It's like stunning. If you're a lover of highlighter, go check this out. It's stunning. I love the foundation. It's really good. I like the eye glitters are really good. So far there hasn't been any flaking or any patching, so that's really good. I think the look is beautiful. I think it came together really nice. I think the colors are good. So that works for me. I'm just gonna set it now. And I just use the normal Cucumber Wet n Wild prep set and prep refresher setting stuff. I really like it. I think it works really good. Everything I did put on my face, I'll link below. I will comment, you know, I will put it in the description of everything I used on my face. And I'll also link the Morphe site to where you can purchase the palette if you want one. Like I said, for the amount of money, I think it's a really good palette. Like I said, my only biggest complaint is, again, I don't know if I would use all the colors, and two, the pinks that you do use, if you do purchase this and decide to use the pinks, be very careful because it does stain. Typically though, that's very common for those colors. I have had some that didn't, but it's definitely pigmented. It'll definitely give you some really great looks, so I recommend it if you want it. It's a good palette. I just don't know if I would use every color in the palette, but I'm okay with that. Like I said, I'm really okay with it. If I do, I'm good with it. But anyway, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I will definitely be doing some more videos. I've got some really good stuff coming up for the next video, so stay tuned. And if you have any comments, suggestions, feel free to put them down below for me, and I will definitely answer them as often as I can. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. Have a good evening.